A scientist injected snake genes into a man's body. At first, his skin started shedding like a snake's, but the scientist dismissed it by saying it was a normal effect of the vaccine. A few days later, his face turned blue. Shiny scales began growing all over his body, and he slowly started transforming from a human into a snake. The scientist thought his experiment had succeeded, but suddenly the transformation stopped, leaving the man half human and half snake. When the experiment failed, the scientist hid him away. Sometime later, the man's family filed a missing person report. The police came to the scientist, but he lied and said that his assistant had quit his job. He even showed them the entire lab, but the police found no evidence. In reality, the scientist had already sold the half-human, half-snake man to a circus. People took photos with him and believed he was wearing a costume. The poor man wanted to ask for help, but instead of a human voice, only hissing came out of his mouth. After that, the scientist began searching for another person for his new experiment. He offered a professor $1 million. The professor sent his own student Jess to him. Jess had been fascinated by snakes since childhood, so he accepted the scientist's offer to become his assistant without any suspicion. In the secret lab, he met the scientist's daughter, Lisa. Gradually, the two fell in love with each other. One day, the scientist told Jess that there were venomous snakes in the lab, so he would need to get a vaccine for safety. Jess had no idea that this was the beginning of the new experiment on him. That night, he became extremely tired and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, he looked completely normal and continued working as usual. Meanwhile, the scientist's experiment was slowly becoming successful. One day, Jess and Lisa visited the same circus where the half-human, half-snake creature was being kept. Lisa thought he was just a performer, but when the scientist found out, he warned both of them never to go there again. That was when Lisa began to suspect her father. A few days later, she heard that the snake man at the circus was actually real. One night, she secretly sneaked into the circus. Suddenly, the lights came on, and the same terrifying half-human, half-snake creature appeared in front of her. That was when she discovered he had once been her father's assistant. At that very moment, she realized that Jess had also become a victim of her father's experiment. She ran to the lab, but by then it was already too late. The scientist's new experiment had been completely successful. Jess had transformed into a giant snake. By the time Lisa got inside, the scientist was already dead. A short time later, the police also arrived and searched the entire lab, but there was no sign of Jess anywhere. He had mysteriously disappeared.